And we're off. Yes, Trump's fault. I'm late. And yet, this hasn't started yet. Man, I'm seeing such a terrible lag on my computer. It says that my stream condition is excellent though, so... Am I super laggy to you guys, or does it look okay? Got your blunt ready? Good. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Okay. I guess there's enough buffering that it's not messing up the quality on YouTube. So if you're not watching on YouTube, you're going to want to go to youtube.com/Kellerman Comedy. Welcome to the fucking live. I'm sorry, if you can see me sweating, it's because it's really hot in here. Really hot in my little studio. Someone prefers gummies. Who doesn't love a nice gummy? Bro is late because he's hitting Iran. It's possible. Not likely. I feel like I'd know if we were attacking Iran. You like how my North Carolina accent came out there for a second when I said Iran? Man, how late do you think he'll be? It's already so late on the East Coast. Oh, here we go.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
You're welcome, brother John Foolery. Alrighty. Oh man, it might take him a minute to get up to the podium here with everybody hugging him and shaking his hand. He was finishing his McDonald's and applying some cheese dust, according to some of the comments on TikTok. Well, I hope the sound gets better. Joe Biden would have fallen by now, someone says. No, there's no steps yet. Hey, thanks, Cry Fry. Thank you for joining the fan club. I love that. Let's do a little, like, TikTok has this fan club thing. Oh, what are these? I don't know what I'm doing. Help me out on TikTok, guys. I believe you can be a paid subscriber on Instagram, too. Is Donald Trump announcing aliens? Possibly. Someone says I'm guessing it's 55 minutes of him pissing and moaning about how everybody's done him wrong. Yeah, do you think he's going to spend more time complaining about how he's been treated, or congratulating himself on what a good job he's been doing. Someone asked me what I think he's gonna say earlier, and I was like, well, if I had to guess, and I don't typically do that, but if I had to guess, I'd guess this is gonna be pretty similar to every other speech he's ever given. I assume he's gonna brag about ending 8 wars, and how great the economy is doing, and how successful the Board of Peace is already. Peace in the Middle East. I should have started a drinking game. If I was doing this on Substack, I didn't have time to set it up. But if I was doing this on Substack, we'd have done a drink along. I'm sorry. We'll do a drink along next time. First time watching him address the nation. If you go to YouTube, you'll actually be able to see him instead of a green screen. YouTube.com/Kellerman Comedy. Comedy with a K. And for those of you who are already here on Kellerman Comedy, hi, thanks. Appreciate you joining me here on YouTube. Oh, someone thinks he's gonna crap himself. I feel like there's evidence to suggest he's pooped himself, but also it's not really enough to really definitively say it happened. So where do you stand? It could go either way. Do you think he's pooped himself in public? Do you think he's done it multiple times? Yeah, someone says he wears a diaper. It's possible. It's hard to tell what kind of shape he's in under his suit. I make the news better? I appreciate that. He has probably already pooped himself, someone says. I hope when he starts talking that the sound is better. I hope we're hearing his live mic right now, and that's why it's so soft.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
I thought we already did that. Didn't we just do that? You look like you wear a diaper, someone said. You talking about me?
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States.
J.D. Vance isn't the First Lady of the United States. She's right here. Oh, I was going to pinch her head. All right.
Second Lady of the United States.
Next to J.D. Vance's wife. I can't get the angle.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans. Our nation is back. Bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
We were dead, by the way, if you haven't heard every single one of his other speeches. Maybe he'll say it again right now. Do you think he'll say we were a dead country right now?
Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark
He didn't say it.
2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And
Yeah,
see
if you
nothing
don't
yet.
want to see
We're
the
gonna
green
do
screen, you
better
got to
and
go to
better and
YouTube.
better. This
Got to
is
go
the
to my
golden
YouTube,
age of
guys.
America.
Yeah, the visuals are on youtube.com/Kellerman Comedy. So go watch there if you don't just want to see a green screen.
When
If
I
you want to
last spoke
listen,
in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
tell me how you feel in the comments. Do you feel that Trump has turned the country around in the last year? It's Kellerman Comedy on YouTube. I'm sorry, I can't send you a link.
And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're
Yes,
not
in a
going
bad
back.
way, someone said.
Today our border is secure.
Why are we chanting USA?
Thank you. Today our border
This
is
isn't
secure.
the rally.
Our spirit
It's the
is
State of the
restored.
Union.
Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before.
Has your
And
income
our
gone up?
enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
Oh man, we're gonna be here for a long time if he waits for a standing ovation after every sentence.
After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
Someone says Trump's income has gone up.
In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
Oh, they put up a graphic. 0 illegal aliens have entered in the last 9 months. If that's true, do you think that,
But we will always
is
allow
that
people
good?
to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country.
Nobody wants to move here anymore.
The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year.
It's great. If it's true, that's good. If it's true, that's awesome.
And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Core inflation is down to the lowest level in more than 5 years.
Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states. And in some
Tell me
places,
in the chat if your gas is $2 where you are.
$1.99 a gallon. And when I visited,
If you
the
have
great
gas
state of
that's
Iowa
$2.30
just a few
a
weeks
gallon,
ago,
please let me know where you are.
I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline.
Especially let me know if it's $1.85. Another standing ovation. They can't do this every time. I mean, celebrate the wins, but
Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast.
we gotta.
And
How long is
annual
the
cost
speech?
of a
We gotta get
typical
going.
Mortgage is down
it's getting
almost
late.
$5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both. And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that. 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up.
53
In
all-time
4
stock
long
market
years,
records.
the last
Okay, but the stock
administration
market's
got
been
less
making
than
all-time high records for
$1 trillion
a while now.
in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe.
Can't be calling me during a live. What are you thinking?
Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes.
So he said the S&P 500 made 53 new highs while since
A short time ago, we
2025.
were a dead country.
It made 57
Now
new
we are
all-time
the
highs in
hottest
2024.
country anywhere in the world, the hottest.
He did say we were a dead country. I called it. He just waited a little bit longer. In 2023, the stock market
As thousands of new businesses
not
are
make up
forming
new
in
all-time
factories,
highs.
plants, and laboratories are being built.
just a major
We
recovery.
have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time.
Hey.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Welcome,
and
my
stronger.
newsies.
Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
Wow.
American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill.
He has kept that promise, I think. Although I don't know if much drilling has started, just that he's allowed
More Americans are
the
working today
EPA
than
to
at
take
any
away all the
time
things that were
in the
stopping
history
people from
of
drilling.
our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today, and 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector.
It's not bad, right, chat?
We ended DEI in America.
Man,
We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps.
you guys really, it doesn't have to be a standing O every time.
And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
True. Not weak, but strong. I feel bad for the elderly.
Our Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much.
Please stop winning.
We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, no, no. You're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Hey. Pretty cool. America won the Hockey Olympics. The Olympic Hockey Championship? I mean, that is cool. We just won at the Olympics. But do you think his story is true? That people come up to him and say, please, 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 we can't handle all this winning? I don't know if I buy that story. Someone said, open your eyes. What are you looking at? My eyes are open. Women won more golds than men. It's true. Women... I think there are more sports dominated by women in the Winter Olympics. I could be wrong about that. The USA chant is really cult-like. I don't throw around the word cult that often, but like when they're just literally chanting after everything. I was wrong, by the way.
It's the first time I've ever seen them get up.
There are not more female competitors than male.
And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
There we go. I recognize the women too. Which ones, though? Some of them spoke out about their feelings that they don't like things that are going on. Do you think they'll be invited anyway? Do you think he'll be a good sport about it? The women are not coming, someone said. I don't know. You don't think... Trump loves women.
I just want to say...
I don't know if you've heard.
Second, very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it.
If they're threatened,
so they weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck.
Hey, thanks, Corey.
Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off, you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important,
Hockey team.
that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given, and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12. It's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Okay. I love that. Did it need a standing ovation? Probably not. Let's save the clappings for when you actually give him
the best.
the Medal
I
of
thought he
Freedom.
deserved it.
And
I
not
did
just
take
when
up
you say you're going
every
to.
single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no. And every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you all. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
Special champions. Thanks, Scooby420. Great handle.
I'm
my
also
man.
pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics. And it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles.
If he can get along with Gavin Newsom. I'm just kidding. Gavin Newsom wants that to go well also. They'll be best friends, I think.
And
by the
Los
time the
Angeles
Olympics
is going
come.
to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country.
If they can make Los Angeles one of the safest cities in the country,
And this year,
that would be a feat.
and I must say I got them both. I got them in the first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president
He
when
didn't
this
think
happened.
he'd be the president.
But strange things took place, and now I've got them because I got the Olympics, I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news.
What does he mean he couldn't claim the 250th anniversary? He is gonna. I think that he's talking about because he was going to
So
have
this will be a year to
that party on
celebrate
his
our
birthday.
country,
and it got
the
pushed.
heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. But he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
Wow. Born in the USA. Born on the 4th of July is pretty cool. That's a party. I mean, you have to be a politician or something, or in the military, if you're born on the 4th of July. You just have to be patriotic if you're born in the United States on the 4th of July. You are a patriot, whether you like it or not.
So, Buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one. As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission. A young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
Everyone gets a standing ovation tonight. Yeah, bring me back a beer. Thank you, Saul.
People watched Scott from
you.
a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate.
If you text this number, you'll get advertisements to send Donald Trump money every day. So if you want to be encouraged to send Donald Trump money every day, go ahead and text.
And Petty Officer Ruskin.
This is more like a fundraiser.
I'm pleased to inform you that I am
State
now
of the Union.
awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was. Extraordinary heroism. Thank you.
I'm okay with recognizing
And I'd
these
like
people.
to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aide, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much.
Someone said they're
From
still waiting on their Trump phone.
1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans.
Largest tax cut in American history, according to the Trump administration.
All Democrats,
Thanks,
every
Cyprian.
single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary, massive tax cuts.
Well, to be clear, they voted against the big, beautiful bill, which had more than just tax cuts.
They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead.
The billionaires. They
But
wanted
we
to
held strong,
increase
and with
taxes
the
on the
great, big, beautiful bill,
billionaires.
we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great
Asterisk.
seniors.
If you make tips, please tell me how the no tax on tips is working out for you.
And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America.
Made in America. Another standing O. Now we can buy cars.
Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime, operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening, and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half.
You don't have
Megyn,
to
please
stand and
stand up. We're
clap
fighting for you, Megyn.
for this one woman who did well on her taxes.
Thank you, Megyn. Thank you, Megyn.
This woman got a
We're
lot
fighting
of
for you,
big
Megyn.
tax break.
Under our bill, parents like Megyn can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts.
Oh yeah, I gotta do
didn't
that.
name it. I did not name that.
He says he didn't name it, but he hired people who would name
Nobody
it that.
believes me,
You
but
know
I
what
did
mean?
not name it. It was
I
named
believe
by
it.
a very tall man. Sitting
He just
in
hired
the
people
third
who
row.
will name things after him,
Nice
if
to
given the
meet you.
chance.
Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people.
They have a fake. They have an example Trump account on here, so you can see
I
what it
asked
looks like
Michael,
on your
how do you
phone.
make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school and I made computers and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling. And pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops. So I congratulate him on that. But I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad.
He's capping, someone said.
So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it, how much money is
Under
that
the
for
right
somebody
conditions. If the stock
started
market
with
just keeps
nothing?
going up, then
Over
they'll all be
100,000 could
millionaires in
much
the
more than
future.
that. To make
Just have
this
a bunch of
investment in our
millionaires running
children's
around.
future, go to trumpaccounts.gov. Trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book.
A lot of people.
popular.
It's setting every record in
what
the
it was
book.
going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it
What
started.
the fuck record is it
You know,
setting?
it's
Let me just look
taken
up and
off.
see
One
if
of
it's
the
setting any
primary
records.
reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years, were tariffs. I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis.
All right,
Everything
well, it
was
is setting
working well.
records.
Countries that were
It's setting
ripping
at
us
least one
off for
record.
decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done. And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth. And the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4
There was
days
an
ago,
ad? It ran an
unfortunate
ad?
ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and
Someone said,
corporations
when does he
want
get
to
arrested?
keep the deal,
Tell me in
that
the
they
chat if you
already
think
made.
Donald Trump will be
Right, Scott?
arrested at some point.
knowing that the legal power that I, as president,
Again,
have to
I
make
should
a
say.
new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful country saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace protecting Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love. Right?
Okay. Man, if I made a drinking game and it was just drink every time he got a standing ovation,
pouring into the United States,
we'd be wasted already.
Because we finally have a president who puts America first. To put America first. I love America. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New Scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. There were murders, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen.
Very specific number.
And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for
Thank you for clarifying that you're not talking about me.
Suddenly used the word affordability, a word. They just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that
it's just a word someone just gave to them.
You caused that problem.
What are you talking about?
You caused that problem.
COVID caused that problem, to be clear. Grocery stores price gouging us caused that problem. The Democrats did not create that problem. Just so we're all on the same page.
They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well.
That's for sure.
Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down.
The price of eggs?
%, Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while.
Tell me in the chat if you've noticed a reduction in grocery store prices.
Would think were possible.
I have in some
areas. A short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing costs of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance company has gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%.
A lot of companies.
Nothing else.
I mean, the stock market's been going up.
That's why I introduced the great healthcare plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
I'm really curious about how that in particular is going to work out, right? Because Doesn't that kill the insurance company, which employs a lot of people?
In addition, my plan
Won't that destroy
requires
the insurance
maximum
companies?
price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
I'm not worried about insurance companies, although I do
Other
think that
presidents
they
tried to
employ
do
a
it,
lot of people.
But they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action. But I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price.
For certain drugs. Hey.
So in my
Thanks, Van Stash.
first year,
I love you too, man.
second term, should be my third term. What? Strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest
He took
price
prescription
in the
drugs,
entire
all right.
world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way. And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big, Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump RX website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500. A reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom.
A great mom. Did you, I saw a thing that compared all the Trump RX drug prices to the other websites where you could also get the drugs at those same prices before Trump RX ever existed.
So now I'm calling
So I'm
on
waiting
Congress
for
to
something that is only
codify my
available on
most
Trump RX at a
Favored
reduced
nation
price.
program into law. Now, the one thing I'm not sure it matters, because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community, and very substantially down.
For the community?
This is a unique strategy never used in this country before.
If it
We have an
positively
old
impacts
grid,
the
it could never handle
communities,
the kind of numbers, the amount of
That could be
electricity
good.
that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated.
I thought it
Stories
was
like
illegal
this
immigrants that
are
were doing
why
that.
last month I signed executive order
It was
to ban
actually
large Wall Street
billionaires.
investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes.
Standing ovations. Drink if you're playing.
And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Race
What
up.
on earth
Thank
could
you
he
very
be
much. Good luck
prepping
with
us
your home.
for
You
with
got
all
one,
this boasting? Thank you for the donation, Dimitri. Dimitri M.
We're also
Swiler,
working
you're the
to
man.
make it
Thank you,
easier for
sir.
Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it.
Everybody give
for our
Dimitri a
seniors.
thumbs
we will
up.
always protect
Like that comment.
Social Security, Medicare.
Oh, someone dropped a little squid on my head on TikTok.
Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000.
He's not prepping us for anything with all the boasting.
Millions and millions
All
of people.
the boasting is
because
just
the
what
stock
he
market
does.
has done
This
so
is
well,
the
setting
same
all
as
those
so many
records.
of his past
Your
speeches
401ks are
so
way
far.
up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Standing ovation. Yawn.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
I can't believe it.
50th time tonight.
Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she was here? Doubt it.
Take
Pass
that,
the
Pelosi.
Stop Insider
In your
Trading
face.
Act without delay.
The standing ovations are getting... It's fewer and fewer people standing each time.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota. The members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the
Pillaged?
American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information.
There
And in
was a fraud
actuality, the number
scheme.
is much higher than that.
Pillaged is a
And
bit much.
California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance.
The war on fraud? I thought that was what Doge was doing. Oh, that was just for the government. I see. This is for the country. I'm following.
He'll get it done.
They'll get it done.
Find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates
Now we're gonna balance our budget.
remind us that there are large parts of the world and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care
Thank you, Max 420 IPA.
Delilah.
Who's giving us a standing ovation. He's giving me a standing ovation. Oh, standing ovation. Drink if you're playing.
Delilah Colvin was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
Yeah, she's learning to walk, dude. Don't make her stand up. That's very sweet, but what does it have to do with the state of our union?
Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger.
I'd like to see that
location.
statistic. I don't know if that's
why
accurate.
tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
I gotta be honest, I'm a little surprised that's not already the law.
And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023,
really
a
harping on the
16-year-old high
immigrant
school
problem.
cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline,
Thanks,
went
Van
home
Stash.
to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer
Why is this the
was a
State of the
previously
Union?
arrested illegal alien who had broken in. And
Why is this
brutally-
part of the State of the
just
Union
brutally
speech?
extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them.
Standing ovation. Who's he looking towards right now? Oh, this woman up here?
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing
Let's just be
standing
clear
between
that they didn't
Americans
actually
and a
have
wide
an open border
right
policy.
now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you.
It's true that security was not good enough to stop everybody from coming in, but It's not like any Democrat signed an executive order.
As we speak,
Open borders.
Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off.
Well,
They have instituted another Democrat shutdown. The first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually.
Why would that make them happy?
Closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame.
What?
So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
See, the thing is that they probably agree with that, and they just don't want to show support for Donald Trump. But now he's about to make it look like, oh, they just want illegal immigrants everywhere. I think they do themselves a disservice. Like, they make themselves look bad by being defiant to Donald Trump. He's literally about to turn it around. I can almost guarantee it. He's about to tell him. They're not standing because they want illegal immigrants for everyone. They're gonna start chanting USA again? Oh my God! Can we please continue with the speech? But both sides are now grandstanding.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
There's the USA chant. Nailed it.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
Tell me in the chat how you feel about all voters having to show voter ID. I know a lot of Democrats are worried that they're
All voters must show proof of
going to use this to turn away
citizenship in order to vote.
legit voters. Yes, it's the passport only thing.
And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%.
It's not free to get an ID or passport, but you should have an ID. To be clear.
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. He had policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a social security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good.
Well, voting is a right that everybody in the U.S. has.
Both Republicans and Democrats
All legal
overwhelmingly
citizens, I should
agree on the policy that we just enunciated.
Working
And
is
Congress
not a right.
should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
I mean, they cut away, but one of those guys got real excited. He was calling it nationalizing the vote at one point. Do you think he'll... Seems like he's been warned not to say that.
The reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason.
I
They
think
make
they're
up all
worried that
excuses.
you will
They
cheat.
say it's racist.
Using
they come
this
up with
law.
things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated, and their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
Standing ovation.
And here is one more opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full-ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
So anyways, the State of the Union.
And thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this?
Well, I
15
can't.
years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed
Sorry, I'm
to
laughing because
rip
of
children
comments.
from their parents' arms and transition them
Also, some of this
to
is
a new
ridiculous.
gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we've been talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately. Well, course, nobody stands up.
Can you get a
These
green card for
people
the fucking
are
news?
crazy.
You don't need a green
I'm
card
telling you.
to
They're
watch
crazy.
the fucking news. Standing ovation for calling them crazy? Bit much.
Amazing. Incredible. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? Huh?
Hey, black sheep in the house.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it?
Documentary.
Who would have
star.
believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing
You don't call people who are in documentaries
legislation,
movie stars.
advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous, really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot.
I don't know. Tell me in the chat. Is
Someday
the
you're
audio
gonna have
weird?
to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God. Tremendous renewal.
A standing ovation. My goodness.
This is especially true among young people, and a big part of
This
that had to
30-minute
do
speech
with
is going to take 2 hours.
my
with
great
all the-
friend,
all the
Charlie
clapping.
Kirk, a great guy, great man.
Standing ovation for just mentioning Charlie.
So
Kirk.
last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs.
Martyred.
His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
I heard Candace Owens is about to drop some kind of bombshell report about it. Sorry. I'm sure it's all bullshit, but it's funny.
Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot.
Yeah, Erica's there.
In Charlie's memory, we
Erica
must all
Kirk
come
is an
together
honorary
to
member of
reaffirm
the
that
Trump administration.
America is one nation
point.
under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind. We love religion, and we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zuretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer,
What's
23-year-old
going on with
Irina
Charlotte?
was riding home on the train when a
Oh.
deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on
That was
Irina's
something that
face as she
happened.
looked up
It is not
at her attacker
some
in the
sort of
last seconds of her
ongoing
life. She died instantly.
thing.
She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretsky, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
That was really sad. Just awful.
How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
Not a bad idea. Not worth a standing ovation.
Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
Thanks for coming back, Razor.
In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago. They don't like
100% decrease
one
in
of the sick
DC
people,
murders.
one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation. She was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged. Shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Eva Lee. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like it. So sorry. Thank you very much. A great young lady. I saw reports that were like perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night. And she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone. But his mother said, no, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay.
68%
This
decrease.
was a conversation that I
murder
had
rates. I'm
with her
trying to
that
look it up.
night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying. And after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melanie? She turned out to be right.
Right, Melanie? Someone's saying that they live in Washington, D.C. It's definitely not 100% going. What a crazy thing to put on a graphic, too.
Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General
Hey, thanks,
James
Dimitri.
Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf.
Thank you, Game
The
Bird.
great family of Sarah Beckstrom, with the award created by our late great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
Now, giving this guy the Purple Heart, that's an understandable standing ovation. I get a standing ovation for that, you know? But also, if we could keep it moving, you know, it's been a little late. Donald, could you not clap into the microphone? Thank you.
We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Sick people. Cambodia and Thailand. Pakistan and India would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people said the Prime Minister of Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia.
I feel like they could have done more with these
Armenia and
graphics.
Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which
I did call this
proceeds
in the
at a very
beginning.
low level. It's just about there.
You're right.
And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve.
It's
Thank you,
almost
Jared.
like I watch enough of Donald Trump's speeches to know that he says the same thing every time. It really feels like if you've seen one Trump speech, you've seen them all at this point, except that the list of things he always adds something.
And I
So
also
it gets
want to
longer
thank
and
the man they
longer.
report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Thank you, Marco.
Oh man, it's past my bedtime. Smoke him if you
People
got
like
him,
you.
Curly Black.
You know, Marco got 100% of the votes when he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever.
Standing ovation for Marco Rubio.
Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that?
That's good, right? Can't take that away from them.
Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible.
Well, people
Both
hoped
living
that
and
it
dead,
was
and those
possible.
parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though
As
he
much
were
as if he
living.
were alive.
It was an amazing period of time. And they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back. But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead, of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug and they dug and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible.
These
but we
details
did it.
are incredibly
I remember the
unnecessary for this particular
Family
speech.
of the 28th, they were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job.
Standing ovation.
And we're working very hard to end the ninth war, the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying.
Get it ended,
A month.
bro.
A war which would have never happened
End
if I were
it.
president. Would have never happened.
Debatable.
As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer.
The military guys are not clapping.
For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb.
Standing ovation for roadside bombs.
And just over the last couple of months with the protests,
Someone said best State
they've
of the
killed
Union
at
ever.
least, it looks like,
The Democrats are
32,000 protesters.
squirming.
32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue, starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon.
No, Manny, he has not pooped himself yet. At least not audibly. Though he's had lots of opportunities with all these standing ovations. To let one slip out unnoticed.
My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
He took a leaning over.
And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong, because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really
but how are we going to save money?
That has been very, very effective.
If we keep spending extra money.
So thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. We're also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies.
I think
they
the
are.
jobless
Friends
rates
and
are
allies
bad
have just
right now.
agreed at my very strong request to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of NATO. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 2. And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen. We got it really easily with one meeting. And big difference between 2% that's not paid. We were paying the freight of many of them. Very few were paid up. Now 5%, then they're paid. And everything we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO, and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for recruitment. This is so exciting. And every service member recently...
You can't fact check him?
And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776.
This is something that was actually already budgeted.
They put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other
He said add $1.
We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, what's the number? $1,775. I said, wait a minute. For one more dollar, we can have $1,776. It's gone to I said, we're going to figure that. I never asked anybody if we could afford it. One more dollar. I said, $1,776. And I said, that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it, so we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also...
Standing ovation. Jobless rates not lower than any other time in
We're
history.
also restoring
Fact
American
checked.
security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
Standing ovation for weapons of mass destruction.
And with our new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that.
We just blew up all the boats that were coming on.
We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January,
He's taking credit for that. Interesting. Standing ovation.
in January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive, very good. They couldn't believe, they all watched, they saw what happened. This is a different fighting force than we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby, because we did that. My baby is becoming so important.
Expensive. It's an expensive baby for someone trying to balance our budget.
And America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice.
Standing ovation. Gosh, do their hands start to hurt?
And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight is Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down.
Wow. That's cool and all, but it seems odd when so much of the messaging has been about immigrants. Well, thanks for stopping by, Claire. I get it.
Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro. Really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter.
Someone said ICE is going to deport that guy tomorrow.
Powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation.
We've heard about what
protected by
happened.
thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and
The
Chinese
details
military
are
technology.
unnecessary.
How did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine gun stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard
Tom Clancy wrote
in
this
the
part.
exact right spot, which was vital to the mission. We probably would have had to maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take the searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs.
This
Of the bullets and
story
keep on
is
flying
so
and
unnecessary.
Landing, and people knew what was happening. Everybody
My
in
God.
the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle.
President Trump, please.
Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife Amy, Eric, and Amy. Come on in.
Oh man, we're still bringing people in? Can we just bring in all the rest of the people? You can't keep going like this.
So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
That's cool. That deserves a standing ovation. Oh man. Yeah. I'm the only soldier who got wounded on this mission. Do you think all of his troop mates who didn't get wounded on the mission are like, hey, we all risked our lives? This guy took some bullets in his life and landed a helicopter, so he does deserve it. Not trying to take anything away from him.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
this
very
is for
much,
sure going to be my
Eric
longest
and
live
Amy.
stream.
Great to get to know you. We met with them and with a lot
Someone
of
said,
their
when does the
fellow
State of the
warriors
Union
at Fort
start?
Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg. We have it back. We brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will
makes
soon
sense.
be held at the White House, and Eric will be there.
Standing ovation.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go.
Myself.
He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please
Guys,
stand up. And
I'm
will
going to
ask
start
the First Lady
sundowning
of
if
the
this
United
keeps
States
going.
to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Very nice. That's very nice. I think we've all got a pretty good handle on the State of the Union. And now that medal's too tight. That looks way too tight. It's like around his throat. It's like a choker. They couldn't get him a longer sash to hang that on. President Trump, you're losing your audience here. Everybody's just standing around clapping. Continue the speech. No offense to this guy, he deserves the applause, but like, it's been going on for a while. Look, this guy doesn't have
Thank you, Eric.
much time left.
I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor,
get
but
him
I was
outta here.
informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it, but if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But you know, that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you.
Standing ovation? You know, you can just clap without standing. You don't have to stand every time you clap. It looked like I was in the audience.
Thank you. 250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. Two of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer.
God's not asking
no
us
dream
for
too
any
bold
favors,
for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Again, standing ovation makes sense for the end of the whole thing. So there you have it. That was President Trump's State of the Union for the beginning of 2026. Nothing new was said. I mean, people were given medals. That was new. But if you've watched any other of his speeches with me before, or, I do the press secretary meetings every week, they're all like this. Exactly everything that he just said, except normally there's not a standing ovation after every sentence. I can't believe that took 2 hours for him to say all the same shit he always says. It's fine. If you're happy about the things that he's done, then maybe you enjoy hearing them repeated over and over again. I feel like even things that I like get tired after so many repetitions. But, that's just me. Tell me what you think. Thanks for joining this incredibly long live. And thanks for giving a shit. I'll see you soon. Make sure that you're subscribed. Like the video. Hold on. Let me not do myself a disservice here. Like the fucking video, guys. Share it. Subscribe. Become a paid subscriber. If, you can do that on TikTok. You can do that on Instagram. You can do that on Substack. Support the channel in whatever way you feel necessary. And you know what? If you just want to watch for free, that's okay too. That's why I do an ad every once in a while, so that I can keep this thing going for the people who watch it for free, which is most people. So, thank you very much. Sending you all love, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. And I'll be back to reporting the